All right, let's follow the money. Today, we're going to trace the path of a single trade, from the moment an idea sparks in a trader's mind all the way through the system, to the point where it actually gets executed in the markets.
I mean, it seems so easy, right? You're on your phone, you tap a button, and that's it. But what's going on behind the scenes? That one little click kicks off an incredible, high-speed chain reaction, a whole world of technology and rules working in milliseconds. So let's peel back the curtain.
So where does a trade actually begin? Well, it doesn't start with a click. It starts with an idea, a belief, really, a conviction that the price of something is about to go up or down. But how does a trader even get to that point? Well, they usually come at it from one of two angles.
On one side, you've got your technical analysts. These are the chart wizards. They live and breathe price history, looking for patterns, trends, any signal in the data that might hint at what's coming next. Then, on the other side, you've got fundamental analysis. These folks are asking why. They're looking at the big picture stuff, GDP, inflation, company earnings, to figure out an asset's true value. So it's really the difference between asking, what is the price doing, versus why should the price be doing it?
Okay, so the trader has their idea. They've got their conviction. Now what? They have to turn that thought into an actual instruction that the market can understand. And that means picking the right tool for the job.
And right away, they face a classic dilemma. Do you want speed or do you want price? If you want speed, you use a market order. This basically screams, get me into this trade right now. I don't care about the exact price, just get it done. But if you care more about control, you use a limit order. That says, I am only willing to buy at this specific price or better. The catch? If the price never hits your number, your order just sits there, and you might miss the trade completely.
And this is where things get really interesting. You've placed your order, and now it leaves your computer and dives headfirst into the market's plumbing. But you got to understand, not all markets are built the same. The way your order gets handled depends entirely on the architecture of the system it just entered.
You can pretty much break it down into two types. You've got the old-school dealer markets, where these huge financial institutions called market makers are the middlemen. They're always ready to buy from you or sell to you using their own supply of stock. But these days, most markets, the ones you and I use, are matching systems. You can think of them as giant automated dating apps for money. They match a buyer directly with a seller. No middleman needed. The absolute heart of this modern system is something called the order book. It's basically a live public scoreboard. On one side, you have all the buy orders, the bids. On the other side, all the sell orders, the asks, all neatly organized by price. This is it. This is the digital arena where supply and demand literally fight it out in real time.
So with all those orders flying around, how does the system decide who gets to trade first? Well, the rules are incredibly simple and totally unforgiving. Rule number 1, price is king. The person willing to pay the most gets to buy first, and the person willing to sell for the least gets to sell first. Always. But what if two orders are at the same price? Then it's just a race. First come, first served. That's it. Price priority, then time priority. That's what runs the entire market.
Now, you've probably seen this. There's never just one price for a stock, is there? There's the price to buy, and then there's a slightly lower price to sell. That little gap between them, that's the famous bid-ask spread. And it's not there by accident. It's the cost of doing business, and it all comes down to managing risk.
So why does the spread even exist? Well, there are a couple of big theories. The first one is called the inventory model. Think about it. If a market maker ends up buying way too much of a stock, that's risky for them. So they'll widen the spread, lower the price they're willing to pay, and raise the price they're selling for to manage their inventory. The other idea is called the information model. Market makers know that some traders out there just know more than they do. So the spread acts like an insurance premium. They charge everybody a tiny bit extra to cover the losses they'll inevitably take when they trade against someone who's one step ahead.
And that's the key takeaway here. When you trade and pay the spread, you're not just buying an asset. You're actually paying for 3 invisible services: the cost to process your order, the risk someone else takes by holding the inventory, and the cost of protecting the market from those super informed traders.
Now we need to zoom out, because this entire process we've been describing has been totally and completely revolutionized. Over the last few decades, the human beings that used to be at the center of this whole thing, well, they've been systematically replaced by code.
You know, it really wasn't that long ago that trading looked like a scene from a movie. People in colorful jackets, shouting, throwing paper around in a crowded pit. Then, in the 2000s, it all moved onto computer screens. But today, we're in a whole different universe.
It's almost entirely automated systems, with algorithms executing strategies and matching buyers and sellers faster than a human can even blink.
There's a big fancy word for what's happened here: disintermediation. But all it really means is cutting out the middleman. Instead of paying a broker to shout your order across a crowded room, computers now connect you directly to the person on the other side of the trade. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it has changed everything. So we followed our trade from a simple human idea into a specific type of order, through a digital order book run by strict rules and ultimately executed by an algorithm. And all of this leads us to one final, really important question. In a world where machines have cut out the middlemen and are now literally making the market themselves, who or what is actually in control?
Thanks for watching our educational series, and see you in the next one.